Right, hello there, so this is Stadium Tour, which is a Rockstar created track. I'm going to drive a solo lap of this in the T20 to begin with, and then a fast lap afterwards. So, the first section is, it's like a loop around these central car parks near the airport. And probably the best way to take this is to go to the outside first, so all the way over to the right in this case, and then come to the inside and then back out again, back over to the right, and then back to the left again, and back over to the right when you exit from there, just to make sure that the turn is as smooth as possible. Pan the camera on if you need to, and watch out for any of the cars around there, because if you're going to pass you want to carefully move over from one side to the other to avoid hitting the cars sort of by skewing around, so you've got to be really careful there. As is the case with this section coming up, you want to keep over to the right if you can. Maybe just cut over this curb bit here just to line your car up, and turn about here. So you want to start turning at the right time so that you get close enough to this without getting too close and hitting it, and that you can cut through here at an angle where your car sort of goes straight and doesn't hit the wall on the right, so you can just carry on straight through. So I'll try and do all that in one motion now. So from this point, just cut over here, start turning in about now, and just avoid that inside barrier, and then carry on. So when you come to here, this is fairly straightforward. This section coming up, watch out because there is obviously a wall on the end here. You want to come to the left of this bit though, come over here and keep to the left and turn in here. Now the reason is, over this bit here, your car can sort of take off a bit where it's raised. And if you start on the right hand side, instead of going to the left to begin with, and start turning here, sometimes your car drifts over and you might hit this, or you might go on this side of the wall. So I'd suggest to avoid that. Go to the left first, and then start turning in at the right time so that your car is angled straight facing this way, and just carry on straight through here. Through here, fairly straightforward. Just keep it nice and smooth. Again, use the camera if you need to. Watch out over this part, there's a couple of bumps and things. Watch out for the curves and the post in the middle. Now keep well over to the right here. Be very careful about turning so you don't clip any of these inside posts. When you get to this point, you want to start braking, and make sure you're turning at the right time. You don't want to turn in too early, because if you do, you might hit this inside wall here or the lamppost, and if you have a bad exit from here, you might actually go over to sort of this dumpster or the posts or the wall or any number of things. So keep over to this side, but turn in a bit later so that your car is facing this way and you can just go straight on. Carry on up here, brake when you get to about here, keep well over to the right so you get a good entry into this corner. So at this point you want to turn in. Again, don't turn in too early because you don't want to cut too much and hit the post. Turn in about here, just to straighten your car up nice and early again. And watch out for this corner coming up, because although it is quite high speed, you might have to just be very slightly careful. If you go full speed through there, you've got a bit of a risk of sliding and maybe going too far over to this way. So if you're not so sure about whether you can carry it flat out through there, either brake very slightly, or as an alternative, just let go of R2 for a little bit, let go of the throttle, and then let the car roll through, and then press R2 again once your car's through that corner and you've straightened up. This bit you want to be very careful and very smooth. As you notice, my car's jumping around a bit. You can cut, just as a bit of a point there, you can cut on the left hand side of these two lampposts here if you feel you need to, even though I've just run one of them down like an idiot. You can go on this side, but then it makes it a bit more awkward for repositioning your car afterwards. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. You don't really gain that much from going on the left, but if you want to get a straight line, I've just gone into a habit of going on the left here, so it's completely up to you, but I just like lining myself up that way. Now be very careful turning here. there is a drop coming up just where that checkpoint is. I would suggest turning at this point so your car's straight before you go over this drop, and that way your car's not going to slide. And then just very smoothly move to the checkpoints, watch out for the posts, keep it nice and smooth down this bit. This is very straightforward down here. Well, there's a part coming up where I would suggest being very careful. At this point, come over to the right, go to the left, and then come over to the right early so that you can get a nice exit through there and out. And we're just going to have to explain this a little bit because I didn't really make that particularly clear. Even though this isn't really so much of a corner, there is a bit of a curve in this section, so rather than coming over here and then when you come out of here sort of risking hitting this, if you go to the left first over this side at this point and then come over to the right, your car's lined up ready to exit from there without hitting either side. Even though it doesn't look like a massive problem, it is quite easy, surprisingly easy to actually clip one side of that.